Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's edition of Intuitive Angling, and really appreciate you guys checking out today's video and spending some time with me. And guys, today we're going to do something I've been wanting to talk about a long time. We're going to be talking about the most dangerous situations that you can encounter as a bass angler that can threaten your safety, your well-being, your life, people that are with you. Bass fishing can be a pretty dangerous sport, and I don't think a lot of people take it serious enough. But throughout of all my years of fishing and all the travels I've done across the world and thousands of days I've fished, and being on lakes all over across the country, I've put together a little list here, some of the most dangerous things that I have encountered personally, and that you may or may not encounter at some point, and some things that you can do about that to ensure the safety and the people that are with you. So we're going to get into that in today's video. Also, guys, a couple quick housekeeping tips. I just want to invite everybody, anyone interested in booking an on-the-water lesson with me, you can do that by going to my Facebook page, Randy Blaukat Professional Angler. Just shoot me a private message with that. And also, guys, I just posted up a new blog, or not blog, but a new monthly series on my Blaukat's Corner page on Tackle Warehouse. Blaukat's Corner is a page that Tackle Warehouse works with me on. And I go over the best lures for every single month of the year with a correlating video on each lure. So I'll put my Tackle Warehouse Blaukat Corner link in the description if you want to check that out. So really appreciate that. Okay, guys, the little list I compiled here, we're going to talk about it and do some commentary and be curious to get your guys' feedback as well. So first one, guys, you got to be aware of is other boaters. I've been in 5 or 6 tournaments throughout my life where people were killed in the tournament that were competitors. Every single one of them, it was involved in a boat wreck with another angler out there. And driving a bass boat is dangerous. One of the things that I see so commonly is people that do not give boats the respect they deserve for as dangerous as they are. Their boat wrecks are horrific. If you've ever seen one, you don't ever want to see one. And a lot of people they don't think boats are dangerous because they've never been in that situation. And boats are like cars. You can't expect somebody else to do the right thing. You can't expect other boats to see you coming. You have to be vigilant, and you have to be aware of all the time about people around you, people behind you, people to the side of you, people in front of you. A lot of people don't know the rules of the road on the water. They just, they've never been educated with that. And don't ever take it for granted that somebody is going to veer off in a certain direction. Keep your eyes peeled all the time for boats. And don't take any unnecessary risk, guys. Don't try to pass somebody too close. Don't try to pass somebody between their boat and the bank. Just be super safe, because the time that you save is not going to be very much at all. So, man, just pay attention to other boaters. That's a really big deal. Next thing, guys, is hypothermia. Hypothermia is another one of those things that will kill you as a bass angler. And people don't, if you've ever fell into the water in cold water, I can assure you, you will not forget it, because I don't care how good of a swimmer you are, when you fall into cold water, 40 or 50 degree water, and it doesn't matter how many clothes you got on, the more clothes, the worse, but it's debilitating. It takes your breath away. You don't have that long if you're in 40 degree water. So be very aware about your escape route and what can do if you fall in the water. You should always have an extra pair of clothes in there. Never put yourself in the position to fall in cold water, especially a long way from the bank, because guys, if you fall into water temperatures that are 40 to 50 degrees, and even if you think you're a good swimmer, if you're 50 yards from the bank or something like that, you're gonna have a hell of a time getting to the bank in that cold water. It will immobilize you to do that. So never put yourself in the position to potentially fall in the water if it's cold with that. Next thing is waves, guys. Waves are super dangerous for a lot of different reasons. Not only they can tear your boat up, but they can hurt your body permanently, guys. If you land wrong on a wave, it can cause you back pain or back injuries or neck injuries that you'll never recuperate from. Debilitating back injuries that require surgeries after surgery after surgery. Guys, I've seen so many guys from my generation that drove like idiots back when they were in their 20s, and every one of them now are all hunched over and out of the game because they've screwed their backs up so much from hitting so many waves. So don't ever take waves fast. That's the whole thing about it. If you slow down in waves, you're not going to have any problem. You're going to land a lot softer. It's going to be safer. You're not going to have issues even in really big waves. But if you try to take waves too fast and you don't understand the angle to hit waves at, you're gonna hurt something, and you can throw yourself out of the boat, or like I said, physically hurt yourself to where you just can't hardly recover from it. Okay, the next one's bad weather, man. You got to keep an eye out for bad weather, especially lightning. Lightning storms can come up at any time. I have been in thousands of lightning storms. I'll tell you one little story here, guys. I was practicing. It was the last day of practice at the Bassmaster Classic down at the Louisiana Delta in New Orleans. I think this was early 2000 or something like that. And anyway, if you've ever been to the New Orleans Delta, it's a series of like lakes that are connected by canals. And I was running across this one big lake to get back in the canal there, and this thunderstorm came up on me super, super quick. And guys, I have never in my entire life seen so many lightning strikes down to the water as I was running across this lake. There was nowhere for me to get out of it. It's like the banks were nothing but marsh with no trees on it. So there's nowhere to hide. So I just put my head down and ran right through it with lightning bolts cracking all around me. I've been in another situation. I was at James River practicing for the Bassmaster Classic down there, and I had a lightning bolt literally hit within feet of the front of my boat as I was running. All I saw, I was instantly blinded by light, and I saw two forks just hit the water like right off the end of my trolling motor, and I immediately went to the bank after that. So you don't want to mess around with lightning. That's the whole thing about it. It's like, and I know there's, most odds likely you're not going to have a problem, but definitely keep an eye on that. Keep an eye out also if it's super hot, as far as drinking plenty of water. You don't want to get dehydrated. You can definitely have a major problem from dehydration. So just keep an eye on the weather there. Okay, the next one, guys, is getting hung up and pulling your lure off of something that's hung up. Guys, don't ever do that where you're pulling a lure back towards your body. I made one mistake one time. I was hung up. I had a Texas rig hung up in a tree, and I pulled on it, pretty sharp like that. And it's like I didn't mean to pull as hard as I did. And guys, that bullet sinker on that Texas rig shot back, and luckily I had my solar bat sunglasses on. It hit me right in the glass on the lens there. It didn't break the glass. But guys, if I hadn't had those glasses on, I don't know what would have happened to my eye there. Don't ever do that. If you're pulling a lure off and it doesn't come fairly easily, first of all, when you pull it off, pull it downward in case it snaps out of there. It's not going to hit your body. But if you have to put too much tension on it, do not go any further. Just go over there, cut your line, and don't pull onto it, because you can definitely get hurt on that. Okay, and the final one, guys, to talk about is you got to watch out for other people, for shady characters. Guys, you can get robbed. You can have stuff stolen from your boat. You can get physically accosted on the lake. You always have to be aware of your surroundings and people around you. When you're in a situation where there's nobody else around, be super vigilant. Beware of some shady looking dudes or just people that could potentially, cause problems. I always keep a handgun with me in the boat, and you should too, guys. It's a very good idea to be armed when you're on the water or when you're traveling, because it doesn't matter if you're in a hotel room, if you're on the boat ramp, some secluded boat ramp somewhere, if you're in the lake where there's not many people on there, at any time, guys, you could get robbed or assaulted or anything. So make sure that you're armed at the lake. It's really, really important to do that. And one tip I'll give you guys on hotels, if you're staying at hotels, never ever park your boat behind the hotel or in a dark area. Always insist on parking your boat underneath a bright light, preferably at the front of the hotel. Don't ever put your boat in a position to where somebody could break into it, because they will. If you're in a dark area or behind a hotel, you're asking for trouble there. So just keep an eye out. But guys, that's just a few of the things that comes to mind that'll help you guys out. If you take that into consideration, I think you're going to be a lot safer in the long run. So hope you guys are well. We'll talk later.